More Marshall Way footwork. This is about the top of the basic stuff. Moving into the advanced. Some of it can be done in steps. Some of it has to be done in more of lunges. It's kind of blurs the line between them because it's more like a gliding step. You're not taking the full lunge. I usually consider the lunge kind of like taking a leap and staying low to the ground. So I'm going to try and perform these more as a gliding step than a lunge as I advance through it. And I'm working through two basic techniques where I'll go through the variations. And that is arcing to complement the circular footwork and pivoting in the straight line to go with the more box-like footwork. What I want to do first is an arcing back step. Like I said, it's not really a step. You kind of have to make it more of a glide step or a lunge. It's really hard to do as a step and make it an arcing step. So let's see. I'll try it as just a step. That's kind of more off to an angle. Not exactly arcing. Here goes the more of a lunging, gliding step with a bit more of an arc where I drag the front foot. Let's try that on the other side. Try it with the step. This again is kind of a step on a line or a step on a degree. Here is more with the lunging, dragging the front foot, kind of a gliding step. And I'm trying to make more of an arc. It's nice to do this on a carpet where you can see your lines, or in the sand. Sometimes it works in the sand, although that's really hard. Let's see. So I did it to one side. Now I'll try to do it the other way. I'll try with the step. Again, I'm hitting more of a line than an arc. And I'll try to arc a bit more on the other side. I have a hard time making it an arc instead of just a line without taking the lunge. So going forward, all the same stuff. Now trying to go on a forward arc to either side. This is much more common for me. You can see I'm a lot better at it. Now for the stepping or lunging or gliding forward to a pivot or pivoting while doing so. While I was thinking of performing this drill on the video, I was thinking of more of a step to a pivot, trying to work through the degrees of complexity. So there's the step to the pivot. This is relatively simple, where you'll just take your step forward, and then instead of following up the standard way, you put the rear foot in a different position so you do your pivot, kind of like a 3/4 turn, although that was only the 90-degree turn. And then you can do that where it's more confusing to the opponent, or there's other reasons. I haven't really thought through them too much. It's usually vulnerabilities in multi-opponent combat, like staying on the line where you're safe until you're almost in your position and then you pivot. So let's see that going backwards to the same side. And I have a harder time doing that with the, so this is moving the same, that was moving this foot first. I moved the same foot first as I did, going forward and going backward. Now I'll try it moving. What makes this one difficult, why I move front foot backwards first, is because the back foot has to do the pivot. So if you try to move the back foot first, it's really hard to get your pivot right, where you're trying to sweep it around, like you might want to try to catch somebody with a sweep with it, like I was doing. So now I'll try to just, okay, I'll move it up to lunging instead of just stepping, and I think I'm going to try and push it all the way to that flying I've shown in some other videos. Here we go. I'll try to just the lunge, with the pivot at the end of the lunge. Kind of took an extra step, kind of fell out of position. Still a decent attempt. I'll try again. All that forward momentum is hard to hold. There's more of the flying one. I did the pivot in the air. And that's about it. Then you vary it. Try it forward, try it backward. Try it to different degrees. 90 degrees, 180 degrees, all that stuff. Marshall way footwork at the degree where the basics start to meld with the advanced.